If before round 2, Chris Finch came out and said, you know what job I'd love? The Golden State Warriors job. Would you hire him?
No, I'm still in on Kerr.
Okay.
I think Kerr is, I know you've been using that word a lot. Kerr, I didn't like what happened with Kuminga, but the bottom line, Steph and Dre are going to be here, and they're going to be here, I think. You bring them back. There's more noise growing about, and I know Willard and Dibbs, we all had a difference of opinion, but if this stance on, talking about or speaking about what's going on in our free world is really an issue, Stoney, I'm telling you, I wouldn't come back. I couldn't do it. I couldn't front on myself and say, and it's not like he's doing what Mark Jackson was with church. Like, that's a whole different ball game. If there's a school shooting or something popping off, it's not like every night he's saying what's going on in the nation's capital is raggedy. It's when things, things like disastrous things happen, and he comments on it. But so I couldn't dial that back, I guess, if I've been with you 12 damn years, and now all of a sudden it's a problem.
I think we've omitted. I think we've omitted part of the reason that maybe the organization wants Steve Kerr back.
Oh, do tell.
Because, okay, if the Warriors have to hire a new coach, 2 things have to happen. One is they've got to find the guy they want.
Okay.
And 2 is the guy who they find has to think it's a good job. And how good a job, realistically, is the Golden State Warriors head coaching position right now? And you answer to me, what kind of coach with some experience, who knows his way around the league, who you really respect, would look at Golden State and see Steph at 38 and Draymond Green, Butler, and say, that's the one I want. I want to usher out the Warriors era. It doesn't make any sense.
I hear you, but beggars can't be choosy, and I don't even want to go racial here with you, but I had some fun in the morning telling you what type of coach. An unemployed coach. That's who's going to look at Joe Lacob, who went into the red and paid the taxes up to you-know-what forever until it was a rule. So you got an owner that's going to spend. You're coming to one of the best cities in the world, the greater Bay Area. So, yeah, just like with any project or whatnot, or rebuild, you got to usher out Steph and Dre. So I'm going Halle Berry, Nia Long. Very attractive.
I don't think so.
But if you're unemployed and you truly love the work, you're going to take the job.
That's right.
If they call you.
Right.
Like, let's not front on that.
Right. But my point is, if there's a coach out there right now that people are like, that guy's a great coach, he's going to Denver. And you know what? If the Portland Trailblazers hadn't just hired the cheapest owner in sports history,
who's trying to pay his
Blazers
coach the cheapest,
would be a better job than the Warriors.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
so that's
he's
what
not.
I'm saying. They may not have the pick of the litter for the best candidates.
But what if they want their new Steve Kerr?
That's fine. But what I'm saying is, they might not get, like, if I've heard this, they could be waiting for a coach to be eliminated. All right. Guess what? Any coach who's been eliminated is in a better situation than coming to the Warriors for an owner like Joe Lacob, who's going to really put the pressure on to keep this thing rolling.
And I will say this about
That's why it's going to be a Stackhouse or an Iguodala or a Stotts
I would love
or a
Dre.
guy like that, I think.
I would love Iggy or Mullin. I keep putting you in there, Chris, but more than a Stackhouse and a Stotts. But I will say this. I'll keep it real. Put the right on the table, brought to you by Echo Pest Control. When you go player for player and you talk about the future or whatnot, right now, I know they got a pick coming in the lottery. We'll find out when it is, this upcoming draft here. But, the covers look bare. And, and I'm saying that with all due respect to Steph and Dre, because they're on the back 9. But as far as what Portland has as far as players, my gosh, we don't have those thoroughbreds in the barn.
If the Warriors with Draymond Green aren't an attractive
You ain't got to tell me that.
Like, I would say the Warriors, how do I want to put this? The Warriors without Draymond Green is not a great job. The Warriors with Draymond Green is an even worse job. It's an even worse job for some, and for some, like, the more I think about it, if Kerr leaves, they cannot bring a coach in here that doesn't have some familiarity with what goes on here.
It's why it'll add to the intrigue.
Can't. Yeah. They just can't. But what I'm saying is I'm taking it a step further and saying a coach like that wouldn't come here if they weren't a desperate coach. Right. Like if 2 or 3 guys get fired who lose in the, semifinals or Western Conference or Eastern Conference finals, they might be like, yeah, I'll wait a year.
Rather than come here.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. I don't know when you expect. I know you got some sources, Steiny, but I don't know when you expect a decision. I know Kerr and the FO are supposed to meet again next week or any day here. But I am kind of scratching my head, a bit perplexed as to when this decision will be made. I told you, Willard and Dibbs and the listeners yesterday before we got out of here, I thought he's not coming back. Then I said he's coming back. And now that there is a part 2 to, their meeting after the other day, I just feel like, Steiny, it would make the most sense to just have Steph, Dre, and Steve Kerr and your older players ride it out together. And I could be wrong. And maybe they decide, hey, Steve, it's time to go our separate ways. But you can't tell me, since I've been in the Bay and I've known you and we've been doing radio, and there's been all these open vacancies in regard to head coaches across the board. This is the one that's really intriguing to me. To see who's going to follow the Warrior one, who they deem or dub, no pun intended, the guy at this juncture with Steph and Dre still on the books to take over.
Yeah, it's got to be
Andre, like that, or Stotts or Stack.
Because maybe I'll take it a step further. I don't know that a coach that's really, let's say, here's what I mean. Yeah. I don't know if he wants to coach again, and the Warriors probably don't want him anyway. But like a guy like Thibodeau. Now, the Warriors have reached out to Tom Thibodeau. Now, again, they're not gonna, but they've reached out to Tom Thibodeau. Yeah, he's not interested.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
See, I think he loves the game so much, he would listen.
Oh, he might listen, but I think what would happen, but it wouldn't work with Thibodeau because he's not a great front office guy. And
so you saying the
Lakers
relationship
would have a lot of trouble with him, I think, especially coming in from out of nowhere. But I don't know. You tell me, Warrior fans, how attractive the Golden State job is. I also got to get into this Monty Poole story with the headline, man. Steve Kerr hints he's open to Warriors return, but alignment needed. Kerr came across to some, according to Monty Poole, that he was preparing to re-sign and be on the bench. But he still says it's 50-50. So,
but that, before you got to the 50-50.
He said it was 60-40. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but those words before we got to the number part of it, it seemed like a slam dunk, right? Saying everybody seems to think that, he's going to be on the bench. Then the 60.
Well, he's got a quote from another league source said, I think it's 50-50 he comes back. And I think that we all have realized nobody knows. Not even Steve Kerr, Joe Lacob probably at this point. All right, 888-957-9570 is the number. It is a Friday, so that means anything goes. And, anything goes.
That sounds like a podcast.